Hello everyone, my name is Leslie Ryan, and I'm sitting here before you today to try to explain the importance of education. You see, the way technology and the way things are going in our society today, you need education to make it. And I just want to briefly tell you about my experience, what I went through for me to realize how important education is, and maybe I'll touch someone out there in the audience. Back in the late 1980s, early 90s, I was able to go out and get a really decent job, paying me anywhere from 15 to 18, all the way up to the highest I want to say is $26 an hour. And you really didn't need education. Let me take that back. I did have to go to school. I got into construction, and it was union based. And what you had to do, you had to go to apprenticeship school, and they taught you the trade. And excuse me for a moment. And in that trade, you were protected under the apprenticeship program. And I can't really see. I'm sorry. I had to put my glasses on because I can't see. Thank you. You were protected, like I was saying, you were protected under that apprenticeship program, and you were guaranteed work for 4 years. Sounds like a degree, but after those 4 years, you're left with a skill. They gave you a skill, but it was a skill for that particular trade. I went through the 4 years, accomplished that, made decent, made really good money, and I finished the program. I got out, I started working, and you found your jobs and everything, and they were building. Buildings were going up, and that particular trade that I took up was air conditioning. So buildings were going up, and they needed air conditioning, so we were working. We were working. We had plenty of work. I mean, work was just by the abundance. Until one day I woke up and work was getting scarce. And of course, we know it was not what you know, but it was who you know. I didn't know a whole lot of important people, so I got called here and there, got laid off a lot, and then it came to that point where um, there was no work. It was like, okay, well, what do I do now? So I collected my unemployment, and that was pretty good because they took a certain percentage out of your pay. I even had money coming out of my check, while I was working. It was like a little cushion. So, who was thinking about education? Not me. I got unemployment. I got money I can go and borrow from my annuity. I had going on, should I say, until I went to get that last dollar. It was like, okay, what do you do now? So, with no plans and nowhere to turn, I went and picked up security. So now imagine this. Imagine this. I went from making 22, $25 an hour to now making maybe it was 5.50 back then, no more than $6 minimum wage doing security. And it was like, wow, I need to go to school. So what I did start school because I've always wanted to be a nurse. I had this passion for being a nurse. So I started nursing school, but I didn't complete it. I wasn't serious. I was like, okay, it's going to pick back up. I wasn't serious. Well, I didn't do well at the nursing thing during that time. So that came to an end really quickly. And you wouldn't believe security even became scarce. they had made it where they wanted armed officers, and unfortunately, I was unable to get a permit to carry a gun. Not gonna go into the reason why, but I'm quite sure you guys know why. Well, couldn't get a permit to carry a gun. No income coming in. What is the rent man going to say? Well, here's the answer. Here's your eviction notice. So I got evicted with nowhere to go. Became homeless. And my pride wouldn't allow me to reach out for help. I became homeless. I was homeless for 3 years. 3 years, people. 3 years. 3 years. And I just woke up one day on someone's couch and was like, this is not me. This is not me. So what I did, I chose to move here to Bainbridge, Georgia. And even when I came here to where my mother retired to, there was still a hole that needed to be filled. There was a void. So, I'm going to tell you, never say never. Never say never. Because there was a time I said, I'd never work at McDonald's. Well, I had to end up working at McDonald's. And not to say flipping burgers is a bad thing, because I was moving up, but it wasn't something that was satisfying it just wasn't satisfying me. So I met a young lady. She came into McDonald's one day, and I don't know, I struck a conversation with her. And God works in mysterious ways. This woman was a counselor over at Bainbridge College. And I explained to her the things that I wanted to do. And one of the things I wanted to do was become a nurse. So she said, why don't you go back to school? I said, well, I tried that, and every time I try to go back, they say that I have to pay back the money that I borrowed. And I just didn't have it. But she persuaded me to come see her anyway. She was like, well, look, just come see me. And, at first I didn't, because I heard that before, and I always got the same answers. So I went to go see her 3 months later, because I just really got tired of working at Burger King. It was not that it was a dead end, but I just couldn't see myself doing that for the next 20, 30 years. So I went to the school, and I saw her, and God works in mysterious ways. I must say it again. She found an avenue for me to go down, and I was able to fix my debt with the student loan people, and I was able to start school. Now I took it very seriously this time, because if you look around, you see a lot of men out of work. There's a lot of women working, there's a lot of men out of work. So I just had to take it very seriously, and I did. And I'm so happy to sit here today and tell you that I have completed the LPN program. I am now a nurse. I not own, but I'm soon to own. I live in a comfortable 3-bedroom home, nice dining room, nice living room, a room to the side. I drive a nice 300. All because I decided to go back and get my education. I can go and apply for jobs all over the world because I have an education. And I didn't stop there. I'm currently still in school today. I'm going for my RN, and I only have a year for that. And at the same time, I'm working on my bachelor's. So I encourage you, people. I encourage you. Education will open up so many doors. I go online every day and I look at the salaries that they're paying nurses. There's a traveling agency for nurses that will pay your room and board, bring you down to where it is that they want you to work, and the salary is like $100,000. let me say $100,000. The only thing you have to pay is your utilities. Education will open up so many doors for you. You don't have to be a nurse. This technology you can get into. Computers are just the thing now. You know, pretty soon laptops are going to be obsolete. So find whatever it is that you enjoy and get into it. You know, get your education, get something behind, because once you got education, no one can ever take that away from you. I'm a living witness. Here I stand before you today, an LPN, and tomorrow I will be an RN. Thank you.